All right, so spring ball is about over, and I couldn't be more pleased with the energy effort that our kids have given. It's been some back and forth for sure. Tuesday was pretty much dominated by the defense. Today I thought offense came back and did really well in every drill except for the last one. And that was good to see the defense respond. I thought their energy at the end was really fantastic, and they're playing hard, and you got to give credit to the leadership of the team, both the coaches and the players for that. So really pleased with I guess that's 8 days of pads, and we got one more Saturday. And I kind of enjoyed the format, a lot of teaching, a lot of walkthroughs, and not as much on the field hitting. I still wish it was in June. I'll keep saying that, but because we have too many folks out with injuries and folks that aren't here, and then you'll have who knows what this portal thing brings. So I'll keep pounding that drum to, man, let's just be training right now and give us 10 days in June to put shoulder pads on and do what we do now. But I really am excited about the attitude that I see, the accountability that I see. I think that shows up in a lot of different manners, whether it be the academic report or disciplinarian things. Not that, look, it could happen this weekend. I'm not naive, but to this point, our kids, I think, have bought into being accountable to a standard that we have said we would like to meet. So really pleased with a lot of things heading into our final practice Saturday.
I think you guys thought you had a pretty good signing class, and now that you're pretty much through the spring, felt like pretty validated with that by watching those guys on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I do. I thought like today, I thought Fagans and Winners just really flashed in the secondary. I thought I said on signing day, I thought we signed two of the better safeties in the country, and I think that showed today. The young corners with Starr and Woodby, I think they're just going to be players. They're just young, but boy, they compete, and excited about that. D's at linebacker, and also, I think Elijah and Xavier are two football players at linebacker that we picked up. But again, they're very, very young. And I've said all along, I think we can build this roster back to an elite roster. And it's the combination of some portal, but certainly feel better about, I think my niche is more of the high school ranks and what the ones you're talking about, whether it be, I didn't talk about Jared or Jordan or Malik or Dorian. I think those D linemen are going to be really good. But again, you're talking true freshmen, and in a league where there's a lot of 23-year-olds playing, so we're going to have to depend on some of those guys for sure. But there's no question that we signed a solid class.
Speaking of Sam Turner, what have you seen from him this spring?
Man, what a great job by Marcus flipping him, because he's going to be dynamic, and has added great depth to us on the outside, and able to give some breaks to Cam and Perry and Horatio for sure. He's for a freshman, he's sharp. He picks it up, and I owe him an apology because I called him Sam Darnold the other day in the press conference. I'm old. Y'all got to help me with that. It's Sam Turner. I know that clearly, but he continues to just work and improve.
Hey, Coach. Bruce Pearl, I think it was after the Elite 8 matchup, saying that Auburn is still a football school. With that comment from Bruce, coupled with the success of the basketball program, do you feel like that puts the pressure on you and the football program to contend for the playoffs this year?
I don't give into the pressure of nothing really. I don't feel a lot of pressure anymore in life. I think, I know we're doing it the right way. I know we're building it the right exactly what you said. I think Bruce's comments are just his belief in what we're doing and how we're doing it, and his belief in what Auburn can be, and he's proven that through time. I don't know how long it took him to get his program, but where it is, he certainly has, and the notoriety and brand recognition that he and his team brought to us certainly helps us. And I think it's just, I appreciate his confidence that he knows we're building this the right way, and we'll have chances to do that hopefully in the near future.
I know you guys don't have Dorrell out there right now, but where do you feel like the running game is? How you've seen it in spring? Saw a few pretty good runs today from those
Yeah,
guys.
there's some good runs today in the second and eighth play period. I thought those runs were really, really good. I wish you were out there so I would know a little bit more about our depth there, because that is a position that you can lose a guy pretty quick, or two guys pretty quick to an ankle or to something, but a shoulder, because they're having to pass pro and they're having to lower their shoulder and run, and things can happen with that spot. And so I certainly wish we were seeing. Obviously, we love what we saw on tape, and we love his size, and we think he can do it all. But I sure wish you were out there, because you have to. We feel very good about Jeremiah. We feel very good about Damari for sure. Alvin's going to be good. He's another true freshman that how quick can you pick things up in the protection world and all of that. And so I wish we had a spring with him. Another reason to be going in June is you could have looks at all those guys. So I think he's going to be vital. And we had Justin go out with a shoulder this spring, so we lost him too. So it's been very thin there. Hopefully. He is what we saw on film, but we're kind of betting on that for sure, that we will need that depth.
How have you seen Perry kind of come along this spring and during the offseason?
Perry is starting to mature, as is Malcolm. Some of the younger guys that didn't really understand how you have to practice and prepare. He still has his moments of inconsistency, but it's much better, and he's flashing some. He flashed today in the one-on-ones, and had an incredible catch in one of the team periods, and excited about what he can become, but still have to stay on, and let's learn how to compete every single play. It can't be, just 2 out of 3. We've got to do every single one the right way, and the thing about that room is that they demand it, because competitiveness in there is high, and you're going to have to earn your right to get those reps.
I'm going to go back to young guys again, but that defensive front is not the easiest place to jump in on there, but Jordan and Malik and all those guys. Jerry Smith had a bunch of plays today. How much have you seen those guys progress throughout the spring?
A lot. They are still do the wrong thing some, and the biggest thing about them, I think, coming to this level is demanding that there's zero lows. Because big guys, if the play goes away, and we have to demand that there's no lows, and I've seen constant improvement in their effort. When they know what to do, they're a handful, and obviously they're going to make some mistakes, just like Morris's growth is exponential from last year to this year, and that's just the way it is. I mean, they're going to make some mistakes with all the adjustments that you have to make, the different things that offenses throw at you. You can get confused, but we have to play with effort, and I think that's where you see the biggest improvement is DJ and them are fanatical about demanding that of them, and I've seen that constantly come down, and their mental mistakes are coming down. There'll still be some, but boy, when they know what to do, some of those guys are handfuls now.
Coach, there were a lot of quarterbacks available in the portal. What made Jackson the right fit, and what have you seen from him so far this spring?
Yeah, I knew of him out of high school, and his fundamentals for what we want to do fit us. His legs are good enough to run. I think his arm strength's really good. People don't maybe not know that because you haven't really seen it unless you go watch his high school stuff where he was Gatorade Player of the Year. I think he can make every throw. I think he needed a restart, and for whatever reason, that's not a knock on anybody else. Those things just happen. But he fit with me in our visits and with the culture that we want here. I think he fits that, and then his skill set I think is really good. He's throwing it at a high level right now to guys he believes in and trusts that they're going to make plays on the ball for him. And hopefully that confidence just continues to grow.
Coach, how do you feel about the kicking game, the turnover, punter, and getting out back at place?
Hudson was killing it today. I didn't think there was a huge wind or anything, so pleased today with where we are there. I think McGuire's got a chance to be really good too in time in the punting game, so I'm glad we got both of those guys. And the kicking game is Alex is back to being Alex. I don't know if he's missed many at all this spring, and Phil Towns in the end and Gibbs have all kicked well too. So I feel like we're in really solid position there. Reed and Snapper is obviously a veteran, and have confidence in them. So I think, Lord willing, we stay really healthy there at all those spots. I feel really good about it.
Okay, you last time we talked to you here, you were saying you had a few tests that you were still waiting on, and they would dictate what you were going to do as far as treatment. Can you give us an update on that? How you feel?
Yeah, we got the last one back, and thank God it's answered prayer. It's slow aggressive. In consultation with the doctors that we're dealing with, they think that if mentally I can handle waking up at night knowing you have something in you that you don't want in you, they're not in they don't feel like I have to be in a hurry to do something, because obviously I've given them kind of my schedule. I'm like, the only time that really fits to do something if we go in and do a removal or whatever treatment we do, the best times for me probably are middle of June or middle of January, and because you kind of need 3 weeks or so. And Jill and I, as of today, probably, I think I can handle the mental side of it. Matter of fact, I told Doc called me the other day. He's been awesome. Dr. Bug out of Birmingham. He just doesn't think it's a big difference in June or January, other than can I handle the mental side of it. And I said, really, Doc, the only time I think about it is when you call me. So, right now I would say that's kind of, I've got a couple more calls with guys at other highly respected places just to see if they think I'm nuts to just survey it. Until then, I would say right now we're probably waiting until the new year to reevaluate. Thank you for asking.
He would usually be asking you about, what the spring game format would be, but this time around, what would your expectations be for fans who are going to say it's just going to be kind of standard practice?
Yeah, I hope they're not disappointed. I just don't think it's wise for us to go out there and beat each other up, and we're already kind of banged up. It'll be a normal practice like today, truthfully. If you got to see today, there will be some endo, some skelly, and then we will, our young guys will go a little live, period. And then we're going to end with what we call red zone lockout, which will be a live period. That's going to be first 1 to 18 wins. So offense gets the ball on the 25, you score a touchdown and an extra point, that's 7. Defense stops you, you kick a field goal, that's 3 points for the offense, 4 for the defense. Miss the field goal, defense gets 7, or a stop somehow or turnover, they get 7. So first 1 to 18 wins that, and then end with an overtime period. that's what, you can kind of expect. There'll be a Skelly drive-it period too, where another chance to do some things where you hopefully are not too at risk to get injured, but it'll end with that, the red zone lockout stuff, going into an overtime period.
Anything else? Nathan?
Yeah, it's just with the offensive line right now with Connor and Chaplin not available, how much are you hoping to build that depth with guys like Tutal and Braden, considering they both started for you last year?
Yeah, it's been awesome to get 2 tall reps at a lot of places, and Braden and Dylan Wade get some center too, and guard, and Tyler Johnson and Dre Carter's gotten a ton of reps with the 1s and 2s, so it's been good to get us some quality work for those guys. Obviously, be excited to get Connor and X back, but to add even more to that depth, but good to get those guys work for sure, and Joyner getting, a lot of reps at center and some at guard too.
One more from Jerry.
Coach, with all the depth at wide receiver, how are you guys kind of assessing the tight ends right now?
Yeah, the depth at receiver, we're really not as deep as we'd like to be. Well, a couple guys aren't here, and we're deep. We're talented and deep. We just I wish we had more legs in that room right now. Maybe to save some wear and tear on those guys. So we'll get them here this summer, Duke and Eric, and maybe we'll see what happens. We've got another spot if we choose to go that route to use on offense. We actually have 2 spots on offense remaining if we choose to find somebody. I'm not sure exactly, but tight ends, I think Frazier's going to have a great year. I think he's the leader in that room, the guy that can do everything for us. And then we need to piece together, between Rico and Preston primarily, and then use Tate in some of those big 12 personnel packages. And then hopefully the young guys, Hollis hasn't been able to practice all spring.